What's with the kilt today?
Oh, you wear a kilt just for the crack?
How do you choose an outfit for Ibiza? Working wedding.
It shows itself, to be honest. Since I don't own a suit, this is the only relatively smart thing that I've got going.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to welcome you all here to sunny Spain, Ibiza, for Tom and Cara's wedding. I must say you're all looking fabulous. The ceremony is going to take place shortly, so if you'd like to take your seats, please.
Never see my better side. Maybe you'd be terrified. Now the secrets you're wishing you won't ever find is deep inside me. And I don't wanna hide these. Otherwise,
please be seated. Thank you for coming all this way. What a lovely spot. They say the weather on the day of your wedding sets the tone for your marriage. Hot, I think. Yes. That's the last joke from me. Marriage is a sign of unity and loyalty, which all should uphold and honour. It enriches society and strengthens community. No one should enter into it lightly or selfishly, but reverently and responsibly. Cara and Tom are now ready to enter this way of life. They will each give their consent to the other and make solemn vows. And in token of this, they will give and receive a ring. And we ask that they will be guided and strengthened and supported by us, their witnesses, their friends, and their families.
The couple are allowed to sit and relax for a few minutes while their friends do this.
I will be here by Stephen Pepper's Tablet. If in the morning, when you wake, if the sun does not appear, I will be here. If in the dark we lose sight of love, hold my hand and have no fear. I will be here. I will be here when you feel like being quiet. When you need to speak your mind, I will listen. Through the winning, losing and trying, we'll be together, and I will be here. If in the morning when you wake, if the future is unclear, I will be here. As sure as seasons were made for change, our lifetimes were made for years, I will be here. I will be here and you can cry on my shoulder. When the mirror tells us we're older, I will hold you to watch you grow in beauty and tell you all the things you are to me. We'll be together and I will be here. I will be true to the promises I've made, to you and to the one who gave you to me. I will be here.
So, mix a smoking hot girl that has endless generosity and thoughtfulness, and with a rare breed of man who is instantly disarming and warmly engaging.
And he clearly inherited his father's charm and good looks.
Add a shared insatiable appetite for sunbathing culture, rigorous iron pumping, an outrageous ensemble of sportswear, and you are left with the wonderful, loving, balanced partnership of Cara and Tom.
You are our counsellors, our social planners, our fitness instructors and our friends. And I think we would all agree with the words of Brendan, a pair of absolute sorts.
So, on to the advice. Well, let's start with an easy one. The phrases thank you, I love you and I'm sorry are very useful. If you don't know them, learn them.
Never go to bed on an argument, it's a waste of a night.
Go on regular dates. And if you order Bella Vita pasta, stay true to yourself and order a side pizza. Tom, this is for you. She's smarter than you, hotter than you, and younger than you. Pick your battles. Thank you.
You need to face each other, please. Now the bridegroom needs to take the bride's right hand in his right hand. Yeah. I, Tom, take you, Cara, to be my wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death us do part. In the presence of this gathering, I make this vow. So now we loose hands, and then our bride takes the bridegroom's right hand in hers. Yeah. I, Cara, take you, Tom, to be my husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death us do part. In the presence of this gathering, I make this vow. Now you can loose hands from it. Now the gathering needs to stand, please. You've got this in your order. Will you, their friends and family, do all in your power to support this couple now and in the years ahead? Here in the presence of each other and before this gathering, Cara and Tom have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife.
And wonder what would I be without you in my life. Everything was just a bore. All the things I did seems I've done them before. But you brighten up all my days with a love so sweet, so many things I won't stop. And thank you, baby. I won't stop. And thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh yeah. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh yeah.
Did you enjoy the ceremony?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
I got goosebumps.
You got goosebumps?
Yeah.
Which point?
A lot.
Did you enjoy giving it?
Yes, I did. Once it started, it was fine. I was nervous beforehand, but once it gets going and the music starts, and you see this lovely bride coming down the aisle, it was lovely. It was really good.
It was filled with so much love.
Did you enjoy the ceremony?
Yes,
it was great.
we did. It was very nice.
Hi there, are you the official photographer?
No, I'm the unofficial.
Is that a video machine?
Yes.
It's amazing. I think that's what Monica has as well.
And the ceremony go from a groomsman's point of view?
Smoothly. I didn't drop the ring, which is my only duty, so happy from that respect. But yeah, it's getting sweaty standing at the front. It's good. Liked it. Yeah, do you want to go and see it?
Art direct it.
Lift Cara higher.
Oh, not feel lower. Feel lower. Party, yeah, party. So we are going to commence with the speeches right now. Thank you. Yeah, so, well, let's not beat about the bush. I would like to introduce Jeremy, father of the bride.
Thank you very much, Brendan. I should warn you, I'm tired and emotional. I haven't had any drinks yet either. What can I tell you about Cara? Well, when she was younger, she was quite a cheerful child, but also clever and resourceful and sort of quite academic from an early age. Sarah reminded me that there was a time when she disappeared into her room for hours on end and came out having learnt all her times tables. Later she devised sort of elaborate structured revision programs for her examinations. We've never been able to work out where these obsessional behaviours have come from. We all remember her first serious encounter with alcohol. This was at Steve Isaac's 50th birthday party. Profuse vomiting on the Isaac's new carpet. Deathly pallor, sweating, being comforted upstairs for a while. Then becoming very thoughtful for a few days, and since then been quite a modest drinker really throughout her adult life.
One of my stand-up memories of Matt and Tom, which I think demonstrates their brotherly bond perfectly, was at Glastonbury Festival a few years ago. We had unwittingly been separated from our friends, so it was just me and the Peel Bros. An ideal situation, you might think. However, Tom and Matt had been rather more enthusiastic with the beers than I had. And as the losing minority in a decision about who to go and see, I found myself at the Pyramid stage watching Coldplay with this inebriated pair clutching one another, swaying, singing and crying along to Chris Martin's Pretentious Wine. But it is moments such as these where I realise just how great you are. And Matt, you've been the best of friends to me, and I'm so glad to call you my brother today. So, I love you. There are so many things that I love about Tom, and for the last 7 years I've had more fun than I could have possibly imagined. As you all know, Tom is a very positive and energetic person, and this is absolutely reflected in the fact that anyone who meets him instantly warms to him and wants to hang out with him. I am so proud of you and all that you've achieved, and I'm so proud to stand here as your wife, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, because I know that whatever happens, whether we face good luck or bad, I'll be just fine. So, I would like... There you go. I'm looking forward to many more long car journeys, exploring the world and dancing in the kitchen with you. So I would like to raise a toast, even though I don't have a drink, but everyone else can, to my darling husband, Tom Peel.
Look at the bridesmaids, they're a complete state. We're all crying. May you have a long and happy life with your husband.
You are done.
I should have
That was unbelievable. No, not at all. Not at all. You stepped on my toes, it's bloody amazing. It's so well done.
Okay.
Not abroad, but it's famous. So
yeah, that's what you want.
Okay, so we're going to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Mr. Tom Peel.
I thought I'd start by telling you a little story about how we met. It's not even that emotional, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. Come on. The first time we met was at our house party. Myself and a motley crew of owl Turkish squeaks all followed Matt into a house which turned out to be filled to the brim with an exceptionally rowdy crew. Brendan was gyrating away toplessly. Linton and Dot were up to no good. Rachel was sat in a bin. But amongst the chaos was one girl who seemed to calmly rise above the melee and set herself apart from the rest. And that, of course, was Cara. It turned out it was her house, her party, and that was where my interest in this cool young beauty began. At one point of the evening, I was introduced to her, and I remember thinking how awesome this girl was. Consequently, I also remember telling myself to please remember her name. Surely even I could do that. Cara, Cara, Cara. Knowing my short-term memory loss, however, to help me, I even associated a famous face with her name. Who else for Caroline than the Liverpool and England defender Jamie Carragher? Anyway, a couple of weeks later, a load of us went to Field Day Festival, and on our way out spotted Matt with his crew of mates, including one Jamie Carragher. Here I thought, awesome, I'll just pluck my associated name out of my mind, remember her name and say hello and see what happens. Up I confidently strutted, but for some reason all logic and thought went out the window, and in the heat of the moment I said, alright, Kaz. To this abhorrence, Cara fixed my gaze, looked deep into my heart and said firmly, don't ever call me Kaz. And then she walked off into the night, and I thought it was over, kaput, done. Luckily for me, we had a little guardian angel in the form of Tara Cassandro. Tara smuggled us back into the house party and proceeded to fire her Cupid's arrows in our direction. And the rest, as they say, is history. I finally managed to pronounce her name properly, and we haven't looked back since. For all these reasons and more, I feel so lucky and proud to have the privilege of calling Cara my wife. She's my rock, always there for me, and always knows what to say to make me feel good. The person I rush home to see every day, my favourite person to spend time with, my number one friend, my confidant, God. My travel companion, my love, and the person I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with. So ladies and gents, as a final toast, I'd like you all to raise a glass to the most beautiful bride, your friend, daughter, sister, and my wife, Caroline Gibb.
Now guys, there's only 4 speeches to go. No, I'm only joking. There is of course 1 speech to go. It's really an honour of mine to introduce these 2 chaps, because one of them is what we call round my way a top boy. Well, both of them are, but he's my main man. And the other chap is probably the only guy here who will give Tom a run for his money in the fashion game. So, as I say, my privilege to introduce the best men.
What a tearjerker that was, bloody hell. Oh, let's kick things off, Will.
Right, ladies and gents, come on, a little hush, right, there, let's go. So, for those that don't know us, I am Will, long-standing friend, as you've just heard of Tom, Sheetsy, Twinkletoes, for about 23 years.
And I'm Matt, Tom's even longer-suffering younger brother. Now, we know you're all ready to let loose on the dance floor. However, before the evening's entertainment commences, we feel it's important we divulge a few home truths about our man of the moment, Thomas Edward Peel.
He was a great skateboarder, always kick-flipping his way down to South Bank with the pros.
The truth is, his skateboarding career was tragically cut short when he broke both his ankles one summer, rendering him completely housebound.
Oh, I see. Okay. But I'm sure he was a super cool graffiti artist. One of the most prolific in our year.
Hold on. Not to burst his bubble or anything, but Tom's tag was something like Viper?
Grinder, I think.
Yeah. Any memories here, Tom? And I'm pretty sure he never graffitied outside the back of his maths textbook.
I see, Matthew, I see. Okay. But he used to cruise around town on a bright purple moped. The chicks went wild.
As did the thieves. Tom had 7 mopeds stolen in 2 years. Yeah. God knows how they picked their target. A floppy-haired blonde boy in his Emmanuel School blazer. On an luminous scooter. Easy pickings, William.
Right, ladies and gents. Excuse me. For a best man speech, you might be wondering why there hasn't been much chat about the ladies. Don't get excited. In truth, there's not really much to tell. Having finished uni and moved back to London and waited for the right girl long enough, Tom decided to do what every semi-desperate 20-something guy in his position would do. He started sniffing around his younger brother's mates.
At first, I was faintly flattered that Tom wanted to spend so much time with me and my uni friends. It was bizarre. Was it our shared love of London Wetherspoons and liquid drum and bass that drew him into our crowd? Had he fallen out with his friends? Or did he simply want to eke out the last few years of his youth as long as possible? No, ladies and gents. It quickly became apparent that a young woman had caught his eye. A corporate go-getter making waves at PwC. Surely such a city slicker and sophisticated woman about town was way out of Tom's league. But persistence pays off. And what started out as consistent lingering at house parties turned into the blossoming relationship we see before us today. Finally, that leaves just one last thing for Will and I to say. Can we have one last roof-raising toast for our bride and groom, Cara and Tom?
Well, that's a wrap, guys. I'll just leave you with a quote from the cinematic masterpiece that is Step Up 2. Let's dance.